Shop smart, shop S-smart.
Music do you play?
Death metal. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of New This.
I'm your host, DeathMetalHero, and with me is my homie and my buddy, Odin Dasko, and my new friend, Mr. Skunk Artworks. Gentlemen, what is up? Thank you for coming.
Good to see you, brother. Good to be here, man.
Thank you for being here. Dude, that song, the Kill Them Dead song, dude, that's fucking great. That's you, right? That's you doing the vocals, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fucking love it, dude. Epic.
This is the first time I've ever done power metal or tried my hand at that. Like everything I've done before has been either death metal, things more thrashy or more like metal. So it was fun. Man. Fun.
Oh, it's good. It's good to try new things and expand that vocal range, dude. That's great.
This definitely stretched it up.
I love it, man. I absolutely love it. That was what is it? Jacob Lizotte?
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I've had so much correspondence with him. I've never asked. I think it's like Lizetti.
Yeah, that sounds about right. He's fantastic, man. That's who I got. That's who I got my songs from.
I remember in fact, on the launch day you said that. I was like, oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah. That song I did for Metal Movies and Brewskis for Butch Cleaver back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah, that was I got tracks from Jacob for that. He's a cool dude, you know,
super
real cool dude. Very easy to work with. Extremely talented.
We give him some direction, James and I, and we kind of go, this is the idea we want for this track. Go. you know, and he's excellent at composing, at playing all the instrumentation. So all I get to do is have this nice canvas to drop vocals on top of because he's so good.
Dude, and you fucking crushed it, man. That was awesome. I was listening to it last night, and I was just like, damn, this is badass. You know, it's about the third or fourth time that I've listened to it, but yeah, I love it, dude. So well done.
Awesome.
But yeah, Skunk, I appreciate you being here, man. I know it's late over there for you. Where in the world are you?
I'm in Germany.
You're in Germany.
It's actually not as late as I thought it would be. There was some confusion about the time, the time difference.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, well, it's like it's almost midnight. I thought it was going to be way past midnight, so I'm quite happy.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad to have you here. It's always fun to have like the creative team together to talk about these kind of things. You know,
part of the creative team.
Yeah, we miss one, but it's all good.
Yeah.
But midnight in Germany is not so bad. I think you were thinking it was gonna be like 3 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah. I just did a stream with Chubb and Monica. Well, Monica was watching the Wii one, so
Sure.
but yeah. And you know the time difference, trying to balance out the time difference. That's why I suggested Saturday, because I have a little more time on Saturday, and you know it's a little more flexible of a schedule on this day.
Yeah.
So
Chubb
I'm glad
is
you guys
is a genius, by the way.
I'm sorry?
Mary Boy.
Oh
Chubb is
yeah.
a genius.
Yeah, he's great. Absolutely love that book. I just got my my beef heads, and I am so looking forward to reading this book later tonight. Yeah. The first one was fantastic, and I can't wait to read the second one. But let's say hi to the chat. We got a chat jumping in here. What's up, Hollier? Good to see you, sir. Thank you for coming. We got a Fanta. Hey, you Fanta, and a Devil Flyer.
Happy birthday!
And then we got this crazy guy, and this Odin guy in the chat. He seems pretty cool.
He's all right.
And then there's my lady, Skull Beautiful. Good to see you. Thank you for being here as always. My ever-present backup.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we got Jimmy Reyes. Who dis? I don't know. Who dat? Who dis? Who dat? Good to see you, Jimmy. Thanks for coming to hang out, man. Hey, Morb. Good to see you, dude. This is actually my writer on Mercenary Guild.
Oh, fuck
so, yeah. So welcome, brother. Good to see you. And we got a J-Bot. What's up, J-Bot? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you all being here. Hey, and we got a John Celestri. Good to see you, John. He was in the chat earlier today as well. Appreciate you coming to hang out again, man.
Yeah.
Welcome. Legendary animator there. And also, he's got a book of his own currently. So much talent over in this scene, man. I tell you, it is crazy. It's inspiring to see all the different talent that is hanging out over here and telling stories and creating artwork. So, Skunk, introduce yourself to us a little bit. Like, what got you into artwork, man? How did you get started?
Yeah, well, I've always been a comic book fan since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And as a teenager, I kind of lost interest. Other things became more important at that time. And,
sure.
You know, somewhere as an adult, I kind of got back into it. I don't quite remember how I got into this whole indie thing. I think
it's kind of happened, huh?
The internet is weird sometimes. I think it was mostly because of Shant and Jetty. You know him?
Oh yeah, Shant is great, man. Super talented.
Yeah, and I've followed this dude for years.
Nice.
That was way before he was in this whole Comixgate thing.
Yeah.
And at some point, he quit his job as a professor.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's weird. And then all of a sudden he started talking about comic books and so on and so forth. And I started listening because I've followed him for years, and I knew he was a nice guy and he wasn't an asshole. So you know, I kind of started getting into this whole indie scene. And since I had begun working as an illustrator about a year before that, on the side, I figured why not do covers for some of these amazing comics book that I just discovered.
Yeah, man.
And so I tried to get into this whole cover illustration thing. And yeah, from there on.
Hail, Mad Ruth.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, man.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love hearing stuff like that, man. I love hearing about, you know, people's entrance into this indie scene, you know, because it's an amazing thing. I was just talking to Odin about this backstage. You know, it's incredible just to see the passion and the creativity that's over here. You know, it's
actually
truly going to push
that I
the
come to
medium
think
forward.
of it.
Yeah,
I think there was another artist before before Shant that always talked about CG and stuff. That was Jeff Lafferty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I backed his book Berserkernaut. Love that dude.
I did too.
Yeah,
love
he's cool.
Berserkernaut.
Yeah, love Jeff.
And he has one of the coolest YouTube channels of all. I like it.
Yeah.
This is so instructive and so helpful. I learned so much from this dude, and he would always talk about CG and so on, and I had never heard of that before, never. And so what do? You Google it and you find the Wikipedia page, right?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
You mean the LIIIIVVVEEE page? Yeah, that.
Yeah. And I was like, well, that's weird because Jeff Lafferty didn't seem like an asshole and not like a bigot at all.
Right.
And I had
He's
the same feeling
definitely not.
No, cool.
Yeah, and I had the same feeling about Shant. Well, he doesn't look exactly like a white supremacist or anything. So I was like, well, maybe the Wikipedia page isn't correct in some of these things. And, you know, from there
There's a
on,
lot of cognitive dissonance along with that Wikipedia page. What can I say?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I remember in the early days reading that and going like,
that's
what
when
piece
you
this
like,
is.
first encounter this stuff. Is it like, yeah.
I mean, but that's a perfect example of like the way the media will manipulate your perception of other people. Like,
Right.
oh no, they're bad. You better not like them. They're doing this over here. You better hate them. And then go over to the other side. Oh no, they're doing this. You better hate them. You know, it's divide and conquer, man. I mean, it's the oldest trick in the book.
Eventually, you get so savvy that you start liking everybody they tell you to hate.
Yeah.
And so it's
I mean,
like, even if they're not like worthy, I automatically give them a little more like just because the media told me to hate them.
right? There's obviously a reason why they're trying to smear this person so badly.
Exactly.
So let's, you know, and it's kind of the Streisand effect. You know, if you don't want to give attention to something, like legitimately don't give attention to it. You suffocate them. Otherwise, you know, if you try to hide stuff, it draws attention to it inadvertently. The lie of omission, as it were.
Right.
You know?
Well, and I've heard you beat this drum before, which is basically like, just stop paying attention to the horse shit if you don't like it. And I always like what Arvid said, and I know it probably wasn't his quote, but he said, the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. And I'm like, that's 100%. Exactly just ignore it.
Arvid is wicked smart, man. I love talking with Arvid. He's good peeps, dude.
Yeah.
I love having conversations with him. He and Vaughn had a fantastic stream last Sunday. Vaughn's another great one. You know, that's he's another one that I've gotten to hang out again with recently, and he's an old friend. He actually helped me. Von Klaus,
Von Klaus,
Dude,
Von Klaus.
A couple of weeks ago, I read Black Terror.
Yeah. Terror in the Trenches. Yeah, man.
Terror in the Trenches.
Black
so good.
Such a phenomenal book. This is really special, and he deserves every cent of the 100,000 or whatever.
He puts in the work, man. He's passionate about it too. I also got Psycho Killers. I had him come on for Psycho Killers and Terror in the Trenches, and I read both of those books. Too. Yeah, you know, I'm not super into manga, but it has a unique. It's very very Golgo 13. You know, in its presentation, and it's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of that book. And I mean, he's working with Adam Lawson as well, who's another one of my favorite people.
Another great.
I think he just launched. No, he didn't launch. I think signups are now alive for someone.
Witch Hunter Kari or something like that. Yeah. Oh yeah. He's just at it again, man. You know, he's constantly kicking out the jams, so he's good at this.
I always love seeing him on streams, you know, because I'm a foreigner. I always like funny accents that stand out. You know.
Yeah. Oh, me too, man.
And Vaughn is just so
He's got
so
one of those
such a cool
voices.
guy.
He sounds like an extra from the Lost Boys or something.
Yeah, but in a very
Yes.
enthusiastic way. She's a gun witch, and,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I love how gravelly his voice can get, when he's talking, and absolutely, he's definitely a kind of a Midwestern accent, and I fucking love it.
But he's passionate. Everyone loves that.
Absolutely.
You gotta love that.
He's so enthusiastic about everything he does. I love that.
Yep.
And that's what I find more over here than I do in the mainstream. Like, nobody's excited. Nobody's talking about the stuff that they're reading. Nobody's talking about what inspired them as a kid to want to make comics. It's just here's all of my politics crammed into a comic book, and it's like,
I stumbled into an industry I know nothing about.
Yeah, and I'm going to act like I know everything and throw my weight around, and people that actually know are going to laugh at you when you get a Shazam tattoo and call it the Flash. You putz.
That was great.
Yeah,
the Flash.
I'm with you on the accents thing. I fucking love accents and dialects. I love listening to people talk and hear how they fucking speak, and pick up the subtle nuances of how they how their dialect. My favorite obviously is Scottish. I've got Scottish ancestry, so it kind of comes naturally to me. And if I hear somebody talking like this, it is damn near fucking impossible for me not to do this. And I always worry about offending somebody, but oftentimes I will have to explain myself, and feel free to correct me. Tell me that I sound like shit, because I want to get better at this. I want to understand. So, Skunk, I'm right there with you, man. Huh?
I said that's pretty good. So the backing vocalist on the Kill Them Dead album is my buddy Josh Webb.
Yeah.
And when we get drunk together, that voice comes out hard.
Oh yeah.
So I know it pretty well, and you're pretty spot on with your accent.
Well, thank you. I drink more scotch the thicker it gets. The more indistinguishable it gets, so I guess it becomes more authentic then. But
exactly.
It's all about the picking up that authenticity, the verisimilitude. One of my favorite words to use, and I'm going to keep using it until everybody in this scene knows what it means.
My kids, we were just talking about verisimilitude last night.
Yes, dude, you're raising them right. Then the simple fact that verisimilitude came up in a conversation with your kids means you're doing something right, brother. I'm serious.
Can I tell you the context? It was
go for it.
Your favorite quote? Let me guess.
I was quoting Norm Macdonald.
Oh, damn! Like even more points, man.
Here's the joke. It's every day I'm learning a new word to expand my vocabulary and give it more verisimilitude. Today's word was expand.
That's fantastic.
And then my kids go, "What's verisimilitude?" I'm like, "Well, it's kind of like the expected thing." It's hard to explain, actually.
Yeah. Well, verisimilitude, the way I've come to understand it is it's that stuff that is pulled from real life, from reality, and it makes your story feel more real. It adds life to it. It makes the world feel lived in. It feels real.
Real.
The feeling of realness.
Right.
Yeah. But everybody, you should go check out the Kill Them Dead art contest. Thank you, Feline, for dropping the link in the chat. So appreciate it. It sounds like you've already got some fantastic entries into this thing. So there will be more, I'm sure.
The more the merrier, though, as always. Yeah. But yeah, there's going to be 4 winners, so that gives you better chances. Not just 1, 4. So
that is fantastic. Mad Ruth says, I believe in individual identity. I'm cool with anyone who's cool back. I don't discriminate or judge anyone. Seems a little crazy. I mean, these days it does, But
that's out there,
apathy
man.
is where I'm. Yeah, it's very strange philosophy you got there, buddy. I don't know what to tell you.
No.
Apathy is where I'm at with modern entertainment. Says more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And he says he wrote Mercenary Guild for his own escapism primarily. Yep. And we gotta entertain ourselves first, right? We've got to entertain ourselves and get people excited about what we're excited about. If you're not excited about your story, then ain't nobody else going to be excited either.
That's the truth.
Yeah. So I asked Skunk about his beginnings in this scene. Odin, tell us about your beginnings in this scene. How did you get into doing artwork and whatnot?
Well, artwork wise, I've been doing it for, since I was a kid. Like,
Yes.
The kid who, was like in that tier of like, oh, this guy's the best artist in the class or whatever. There was always one person above me, which made me strive a bit.
Hey, give you something to work for.
Yeah. If everybody
totally.
just praised me, I would stop right there and be like, I'm good. But I've been drawing.
No, I got the attention that I wanted. I'm good. Yeah.
Been drawing the whole time. I've loved comics since I was a kid. I was similar to Skunk there, where it backed off for a while in high school, just lots of partying and things like that took precedence. And then I did the music thing for a long time, and that took precedence. And then as I turned over that leaf, mostly to focus on time with my kids, because you're on the road and things.
Sure.
I was like, what can I do that's creative, that I've always liked, that I don't have to go on the road and miss time with my kids the same way. And it really was like, let's go back to comics. That was the funnest. And
yeah, man.
So I started going back to the scene of comic books and realized the mainstream was shite. And it had been for a little while. And, there's still gems every once in a while. You can find them. But
every now and then you got to dig through an awful lot of shit to get there, though.
And hope and pray, because it's typically horseshit. But but I did hear about the independent scene and people crowdfunding books and CG and all this stuff. And I was like, very similar. I was watching streams. So one of my favorites in the early days, and still one of my favorites, is Richard Friend.
Rich is great.
Yeah, Rich is great. Talented artist. I love how him and Kelsey will just like geek out over artwork, and you just get to be a part of it. I'm like, this is awesome. So his was a big one. And then David Finch started doing live streams and things like that. So I'm like, all these artists are doing this.
Great talent.
And then I started hearing about independent books, and I was like, okay, I want in on this, because I've been drawing and I never felt good enough. So I really had to clear up my chops and things like that. So again, watching some of Finch and Friend, they talk technical things as well. Really helped me shore up some of my art. Yeah, man. And still always learning, of course. But I was like, okay.
I mean, the learning never stops.
Yeah, it should never stop. But I felt confident enough to make a book. And so that's when I started doing Unconditional Shove, started drawing it, writing it. And then I started going on streams and meeting a lot of cool people like yourself, Luke. Take a back.
Dude, like I was saying backstage, it is so cool to get a chance to do this, to be able to talk to people. I mean, all the cool people that I've met, all the amazing talent I've met, and the passion for the stories, it's over here.
Yeah, and we're all in the same boat. Like it's like you were talking about backstage. Like, we're just a couple guys talking in a comic shop, but that's really what this is. Whenever we're all hanging out, whenever you're on a stream, it's like we're all passionate about the same thing. We love stories, we love movies, we love sci-fi, horror, comics, superheroes, all this stuff. So we could just sit there and spin a yarn about it together and have a great time. So yeah. And then as I did that, then I met James, and he was putting out Magnificent Bastards, and we came up with Broken Compass Entertainment. Then we met Skunk, and we brought him on board, and we're just doing it now.
And here we are now with Kill Them Dead.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man. I love hearing that story. It's just the people doing what they love. I talked about with Pete last night. Finally feeling like I'm on my path, doing what I'm supposed to do. And I love hearing that from other people as well, like finding their purpose and doing that thing. It is so fulfilling to be, to be doing what you feel like you're supposed to be doing.
That's the word. And fulfilling. It really is. Yeah. And I will tell you this, like, once I finished Shove and, printed and put it out there, like, it's like no other feeling. I'm like, you're not an aspiring comic creator. You've created, you've published and put it in people's hands. You're a comic book creator now. That's a great feeling. So
nobody can deny it, man. You did it. And that's the beauty of this indie scene.
Even if they don't like the book, they can't take that away from me.
Exactly. Doesn't matter if they like the book or not. You put it out there for your audience. You put it out there for the people that are looking for it. You have to first, like I said, first entertain yourself, and then you put that book out there. It'll find its audience. It'll find other people that are into it, because chances are there's a bunch of other weirdos out there that are into the same shit that you're into. That's the way I've always looked at it, anyway.
Oh yeah.
Morb says today's writers don't have enough real experience, in my opinion. That is correct, and John Celestri agrees. Today's creators need more seasoning. They need to stop imitating what they read as teenagers. Yeah, they need to stop trying to be Brian Michael Bendis or Alan Moore or Frank Miller. Ain't none of them any of those guys, and that's good. You know, we need new voices. We need fresh voices. You know, something different, not the same old, same old.
Absolutely.
Morb says the new Conan run by Titan Comics is pretty good. Yeah, Titan Comics is actually reprinting the stuff that was produced over in Europe years ago.
Is that what it
so
is?
that's why they're so good, and they've got
I keep
such
hearing this about this Titan Conan run, and I'm like, I really got to get on this because everyone's saying it's good. So
it is. Talking about the Conan series that came out in Europe like 3 years ago or something like that.
Yes.
Is that it?
Titan Comics has taken those and they're reprinting them over here.
These things are absolutely stunning. Not all of them, but most of them, absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Like those are, I think, Razor Fist said that these are better than the old black and white
Savage Sword
Conan magazine Savage sort of Conan things.
Oh damn!
That's high praise.
That's high. Yeah, that's high praise, man. I don't know. It's kind of hard to measure up to Big John Buscema and Barry Windsor Smith. I love them dudes. That's some inspiration. But I mean,
my favorite
in the United States. Do they release them in this large album format or in the small US format?
The small US format. They've changed them so that they look like the saddle stitch floppies that people are used to getting.
Okay.
Yeah, that's so.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what comic shops are used to. They're like the people that come into comic shops, they're used to that type of format.
True.
So suddenly you come in with this this album, and somebody's balking at paying $25 for it, and it's just like, really?
That's
like a graphic novel.
Yeah. You see, this is one of the cool things about living in Europe. Whenever there is a comic book, even from the United States, that I really like. I tried to get a European version because chances are that I got a large copy with, where I can see every brushstroke, and it's not this small ass American.
What are you saying about? No, but that's not untrue. Is that But I to the point that you were making, Luke, where you're like, people go in not knowing the size. But if you're a Conan fan, specifically Conan comics, you're used to the comic magazine size.
That's right.
Savage Sword. But do you hear that you said Razor Fist said it was as good or better than Savage Sword? Because that is, to this day, my favorite comic. I mean, it's a magazine, obviously, but
mine as well. I'm not saying this is true. I'm just quoting Razor Fist.
Still very big praise.
Right. Jimmy is asking. I haven't had a chance to read them yet. Been so busy. I'm looking it up. I mean, they're actually able to call it Conan the Barbarian now.
Oh, okay. So
because before they had to call it just the Sumerian. And I got I got some of the ones that was just the Sumerian because Marvel had the license again for Conan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got a link here. Okay, fine. Gonna make me. Gonna make me allow cookies. Damn it, Titan Comics.
Allow those cookies.
Yeah. But here's a link to the Titan Comics website. And yeah, they were putting it out under the title the Sumerian before, and now that they actually have the full official license, they can actually call it Conan the Barbarian.
Nice.
I think the one that I got was Red Nails. Which is probably my favorite one that Barry Windsor Smith did. Ink Spots and I went over that one on Do You Even Read, and just his line work in that book is just phenomenal.
Yeah, Barry Windsor Smith did a lot of cool stuff with Conan. I didn't like his actual Conan character as much as Buscema's. Because
Buscema's is the
he drew him beefy, and it's kind of what we come to. But I love Barry Windsor Smith, one of my favorites of all time.
Is your favorite Conan artist?
Yeah, I would say. Well, if you don't,
as far as comic book art goes, I mean the ultimate Conan artist is of course Frazetta.
Yeah,
we all bow to the god that is Frazetta.
Frazetta is a god, agreed.
But, he really is. Yeah.
Did you see the Conan illustrations by Mark Schultz? They had a
Oh,
I think I have, because that sounds very
he's
familiar.
he's
in
the
one
dude
of
that
the
did
last,
Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, right?
yeah.
Schultz. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he's
There's
phenomenal. I
Conan.
love his work. I don't know if I've seen the one you're in particular talking
Yeah,
about,
I
but
think
yeah.
it was about 10 years ago or something like that. They made a new edition of Conan that was illustrated by Mark Schultz.
I'm gonna have to
Um,
find that.
a ton of pen and ink, black and white images, and also a couple of full color oil paintings.
Wow.
This this dude is my favorite Conan illustrator. You have to check this book out. This is
I will-
Well, for sure, yeah.
I
Yeah,
will
Cadillac
look for
Dinosaurs
that.
is great. And
And John, you make a great point here. Europe and Japan acknowledge comics as art, but North American culture does not. Yeah, unfortunately, that is true.
yeah,
I mean, we used to be a society of readers, and not so much anymore, which is a sad thing. And Jimmy says he got the Sumerian. Okay, cool. Then you got some of the initial run of this,
I
and I
got
think this is a new #1 that I just put in the chat, man. I haven't checked out the new books, but I really, really did enjoy the ones when they were putting it out as the Sumerian. So yeah. Are you guys reading anything good recently, or are you just too busy creating that you haven't gotten a chance to read anything good? I mean, it happens, man.
always
know,
reading
those-
something. Always
Yeah.
reading something.
Good.
Yeah, yes. Whether it's good or not, they find out in the end. But
Well, I mean, hey, you gotta read bad stuff in order to appreciate the good stuff. You
There
have
you
the
go.
the balance.
I would say recently I've got a slew of independent books that I've read through, which
Nice.
just always cycling through those. But the recent one I got that I can sing the most praises of is Roquefort's, because I got the book too, and I'm just constantly amazed at how good that book is. So.
The story is a bit confusing. I'm not quite sure. I completely get it, but the artwork is stellar.
Oh,
It's amazing,
Roquefort
yeah.
is just he's that dude's on another level.
Yeah,
He really is. He's blissing himself out. If you look at the artwork in Groken, he's literally just entertaining himself, having fun, and just achieving that total bliss of artwork, doing whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
And it is a beautiful thing to see.
What I'm really impressed with is not even just the artwork, but the visual storytelling that he does with panel layouts and things. I mean, it's just masterful. So
it's a playground, and he is enjoying every bit of it.
And we are too.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear, man. That's what we need over here. We need people that are just playing around in this playground of making comics.
Well, with Kill Them Dead, that is the idea. We're like, what cool things can we do? Oh, we can print a blacklight. We can put a metal album with it.
Fuck
we
yeah,
get it
man.
fully painted, hand painted by Skunk. So that was kind of the idea. It's like, what all cool things can we just add to this? And that's kind of what we came up with.
I love that idea, man.
For me, that was the reason I wanted to do this, because I was always such a big fan of painted comics. I always loved it. Even as a little kid, I already loved painted comics, and I was like, this is my chance to actually make this stuff myself. I was feeling like a little kid again. I love this.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Man, that is fantastic. So getting to fulfill a childhood, dream to do something like this.
Yeah.
And hey, that's indie comics, man. The fact that making dreams come true. That, man, I love that. I was just going to say I just opened my Groken 1, and I haven't gotten Groken 2 yet. So I might wait until I get number 2 so I can read both of them at the same time. But fantastic book.
That's what I did, because I did the second chance on Groken 2. So I read them in succession.
Nice.
Which was great, because then you don't have to wait, obviously, but still waiting for the next one after this. But it was great.
I mean, it happens. We're used to, we're comic fans. We're used to waiting, for the next episode. And you, Skunk, you reading anything recently? Anything that really stood
I read
out?
Broken as well. I haven't read issue 2 yet, but I just read issue 1. I've gotten a lot of indie books lately. I don't know. Somehow it seems that I backed all the books I backed at the same time, and now they're all being delivered to my house.
That's awesome.
And I'm drowning in stuff. I read Fiendish. I really liked Fiendish. Marini.
Yeah, Fiendish was
a
good.
cool book.
I just got my second one in. I got to reach out to Rini to see if she wants to come hang out for a What's in the Box.
Nice.
But yeah, man, I enjoyed the first one, and she's just ridiculously talented too.
Yeah.
Again, just the sheer level of talent over here is just—it's almost obscene. But I like it. I'm all for indie comics being better looking than the mainstream books. That's all right. You guys can do your thing over here. We gonna be awesome and kick ass over here.
Would you say the scene is almost obscene?
Oh, wait, I have something for this. Hang on.
Perfect.
Borb says indie comics doing it the right way for all the right reasons. That is correct, sir.
Absolutely.
And indie comics always pushing the medium forward. Unhinged, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. My co-host on Topicless. She's on vacation for 2 weeks. Okay, well, there we go. I'll just I'll have to wait until she gets back.
Well, the other thing is it's not just even the product or anything, it's the passion. Like that's the thing we were talking about. There's a lack of it in mainstream, but in the independent scene, it's all you. So it's like it's all
skin in the game, man.
What you wanted to get,
Yeah. I mean, creators that have skin in the game and it actually means something to them, they're going to put their all into it because they need it to succeed.
Changes things. Yep.
It really does. It's it kind of lights a fire under the ass, to use an analogy. Haldier says, I just read Fiendish 2.1 and 2. Can't wait for 2.5. Nice. And see, that's the other thing I love about this scene is that the people that are picking up the books, they're actually reading these books. Right. I worked in my local comic shop, like my childhood comic shop, for the better part of a decade. And I don't know how many people said, I would ask, so, hey, I've been seeing people pick up this book. How is it? Is it any good? It's all right. I don't even really read them anymore. Yeah. I'm picking them up because I've got all of them. That is the worst fucking reason in the world to keep picking up a book. This is how we end up with shitty fucking comics. Hey, what's up, Jim Cox? Welcome, sir.
What's up, Jim?
I don't know if I missed your comments earlier. Yeah. Is Jim Cox says, shouldn't Skunk Works have skunk stripes in that beard?
Nice.
Yeah, how did you get the name Skunk Artworks, man?
Skunk is an old graffiti name.
Okay, nice.
That's tag.
So it's basically an inside joke between me and my friends that nobody gets, but yeah.
Hey, inside jokes are as long as you get it and your friends get it, that's all that matters. Everybody leave everybody else asking questions. It adds an air of mystery and mystique. What's up, good stuff? Good to see you, man.
Oh, good
Thanks
stuff.
for coming to hang out. Jimmy says, Dragon Rage, The Crown of Fire will blow your minds. Awesome. I'm looking forward to it, man. I got my book coming.
Yeah, same here.
Jimmy's been fucking kicking out the jams, too, like cranking out some beautiful artwork.
Yeah.
Another one of my co-hosts on Topicless.
Can't wait for that one. Can't wait for Frog G, which got dropped also, the link.
Yeah. So many books coming. So many good. And I mean, we can keep saying there's talent over here, but it's just, it's obvious. It's obvious to anyone with eyes and that's looking. So Jim Cox says, I have a huge CG backlog. Yeah, I understand that.
Same here.
Feline dropping the link for Jimmy's Crown of Fire. Speaking of another one of my co-hosts, we do a show called the Happy Hour Hangout over on her channel Tuesdays at 5. So if you guys are ever looking for some trivia and some fun, come hang out.
It's a great time. I always have to miss it because I work while you're streaming, but there's been a few times I've been able to catch it. It's always fun.
Yeah, we have a blast over there. We got a great crew that comes in and hang out, and people always show up in the chat. So it is definitely a good time. Fanta says all of my jokes are inside jokes. I think I'm freaking hilarious.
You are hilarious. And happy birthday again.
Great. And happy birthday, Fanta. Appreciate you hanging out with us on your birthday. But let's go ahead and take a look at the campaign here. So what is the inspiration for Kill Them Dead? Where did this story come from?
Well, I kind of explained this earlier on Rex, and we'll go over it again for this crowd, this audience.
Just in case anybody missed that one.
Yeah, if you missed it, But no, seriously, it was a brainchild of James, the other part of Broken Compass Comments. He hit me up with this, and first thing he said was, "I have an idea for a book called Kill Them Dead." And
nice.
Yeah, well, let's do that. Like I like this name.
I already like it. I like this title.
Didn't tell me anything else. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. But
nice.
Originally, it started out. It was the idea was basically, and it's still got this as its foundation, is kind of video game like, where each boss is a level up, and you're just kind of going on this journey of like every time it's just getting more and more intense and more insane every moment. Now he had an original idea which we kind of scrapped, and it evolved into this, which is basically that it started as the Underworld, a whole different story, but now it's taken on this life of this kind of unwitting, almost unthinking character who's just a denizen of the Underworld, kind of breaks protocol and programming, and as if directed by fate, goes battling against all the lords of the Underworld. And as to why is basically what you're following along to figure out. But
nice.
Then so we get to take it through that like boss leveling up each step of the way. And James and I are writing it, and we've basically come up with this theory this approach of one-upping each other during battle scenes, where it's like
I love it.
And Skunk can attest to this because he's seen the script and he's working on it. It's that every moment there'll be like somebody dying or some scene, and James will come up with that, and then I'll go into the script and go, well, okay, I got to think of something even crazier for the next
right
step. And so that's why
I literally had to laugh when I read the script. Like it was that ridiculously funny. Great.
I love hearing that. It's steel sharpening steel, you know. You just that bullpen environment, you know, pushing each other to be cooler, and like, oh, they're gonna do this. Well, shit, I gotta level up and do this cool thing.
Up the ante, as it were. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's healthy competition, man. You know, that's what brothers do.
Healthy internal competition, and but it's been a blast writing it for that very reason. And we're really trying to just push the boundaries of, and the poor art team has to like keep up. So there's been several times
we look down at Skunk, and he's just smiling. He's having a blast.
Oh, well, I knew they would love it, but as we're writing it, I'm like, I'm sure glad I don't have to draw this. As much fun as it would be, like it's just insanity. So
yeah.
I fucking love that. I love that. Let's go ahead and play the trailer here, because I love seeing the trailers.
Long ago, an empress wept tears of magic, cursing mankind with the burden of mortality. It was her pain and anger that created this horror, this realm of endless death, the Underworld. Now, Hades has lost what slivers of sanity that he could still grasp. The mad king of this realm has driven it into endless war, all for his futile quest to find a way to escape this place, to find the key to the door, to find her. From the creators of Magnificent Bastards and Unconditional Shove comes an adventure like no other, featuring 80 pages of black light reactive art and over 80 minutes of original power metal on 2 vinyl records. Broken Compass Entertainment presents a psychedelic rock opera that will drag you through the depths of hell. Join the epic quest to kill them dead.
Fuck yeah, man. That's a great trailer. Who did your trailer for you?
James created that.
Really?
My buddy Josh, the Scotsman I was talking about, he did the narration, and then the guitar work and music in the background is Jacob Lazzetti.
Yeah,
the composer of the music. So and then James did all the arrangement and all the animations and stuff. So.
Fantastic. It all came together. It gelled perfectly, man. That's wonderful. And your buddy's got a great voice for doing voiceovers, man. It's nice, low, gritty. You get the feeling that this is badass. You know, I love it.
He's doing some excellent narration, because intermixed throughout the music is narration. And he does
awesome.
I'm pretty good at narration, and I did the originals. And when he jumped on board, I'm like, Josh, you got to do these, man. You're too
right.
good. and he just
well, I mean,
destroyed it.
That's the whole thing about being in charge of a project. You know, you find the best people to do the thing that you need done. You know, sometimes that's you, sometimes it's somebody else that you find.
Sorry, one of my kids just woke up. Just as
Hey, you're okay, Skunk. You take care of what you need to take care of, brother. Yeah, real life always comes first, man. That is my philosophy. I love the logo here. I actually went ahead and grabbed the logo for the background in my my thumbnail, just because it's too cool and it fit perfectly right in my my template for the thumbnails. So yeah, and so let's see.
That's our main character right there. That's the Husk.
The Husk. Yeah.
As drawn
so
by
this is the one that breaks free from the programming, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So and this is the Underworld, is basically hell, as we will. But historical people come into play, monsters and mythological creatures come into play. All these things are in this world, in this underworld, and Husk is just a what's the word I'm looking for? Just a citizen of the underworld.
Yeah. Oh, okay, gotcha.
But as if directed by fate, she breaks her programming and becomes something more.
I mean, hey, that's almost an analogy for the real world. You got to break free of that programming to be something more, right?
Don't
think for yourself and question authority. Always. Yeah. The artwork. I mean, Skunk, seriously, the artwork on this is just gorgeous, man. You're just killing it. And I can't. I'm with Goodstuff. I can't wait for this book. It looks so good.
It's good stuff.
It's beautiful. And so two vinyl LPs with 30 minutes of original music. That's great, man. And Jacob is fantastic.
80 music. It looks like 30, but it's 80.
80. Oh, 80 minutes. Oh, yeah, the distressing over here made it look like 30 minutes. See, if I had read further on, this is why you always read the full description before you go opening your mouth. 80 minutes of original power metal. That is fucking amazing. So that's a minute for just about a minute each page. 80 plus pages of blacklight reactive art.
So it's about 20 each side of each LP, and then and every bit of the song and the music choices coincides with the action and what's going on narratively in the story. So
I love that, man.
As much as possible, you could just sit down as if you were listening to the wall and watching Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz. Yeah, I've actually done that.
Dark Side, not the wall.
Yeah, Dark Side of the Moon. And you know what? It's funny. It actually does kind of sync up. I mean, it helps if you're high.
Yeah.
But
well, the other thing is once you convince yourself that it's going to, you see it. It's just like
And then you can kind of dismiss the places where it doesn't necessarily sync up.
Yeah, you're just waiting for the moment when it does again. You're like, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. I remember watching it with some friends, and they put Dark Side on, and like the music changed like at the same time Dorothy went into color. Yeah. And I was just like mind blown.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only moment where I really remember it being like in sync perfectly. And then, but yeah, it was a fun experience, but this it's tailor made to.
Yeah, we're specifically going that route. Some people have said that Pink Floyd specifically did. I don't, whether they did or didn't. We are, and we're not shy about admitting it because that's the whole point.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Morb says, I love that black and white. That would make a great tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
And Goodstuff says, love the splash in the trailer. Yeah. The little splatter effects. Yeah.
It works really well with, fluorescent black light colors, It's like just splatter it on there.
Yeah. And, the funny thing is that it's a very dark story, and the artwork is likewise, it's equally as dark. However, the use of colors, it's still got that psychedelic feel to it. It's still got that blacklight reactive. I think it's an amazing balance you guys have managed to achieve with this, because it still feels like hell. It still feels like the underworld, but you still have, these bright colors that will pop under a black light. So I think that's an amazing accomplishment.
Do I don't know if you guys remember this album. Maybe people in the chat would remember, because this did it for me. Was Seventh Son of a Seventh Son by Iron Maiden.
Oh yeah, I remember that album.
That particular album cover, it was like he was over like some ocean, and everything was this nice light blue.
Yeah.
But here's Eddie like digging. Was that the one where he was digging his guts out with a spoon out of himself? But here it is, like this evil picture, but it was so beautiful because it was like this light blue imagery. I think he had like a little person in his stomach or something. I can't remember, but I remember color wise what that did to me.
Here, I'll let me see if I can open this image in a new tab, and I'll briefly share this so people can see it.
And Iron Maiden was a big influence musically as well too. Just saying.
Nice. I've got an Iron Maiden patch on my battle vest. I mean, I tried playing Wicker Man for my grandparents once, and they couldn't get past 30 seconds of it. So
yeah,
this is the cover, and yeah, it's a beautifully rendered image. But yeah, it's a little disturbing, you know.
Yeah. So it kind of had that balance where I'm like, this is a beautiful light colors, engaging like nice colors with horrific imagery. And so I was like, yeah, that's definitely where we're going with this.
Yeah, you can make this work. Like, look at guys like Basil Gogos, you know? Do you know that illustrator from Famous Monsters?
The cover for the Misfits album, That's one of my favorite Misfits albums, actually.
Yeah.
He always uses these incredibly bright, pure colors. And he makes it work perfectly in the horror genre, right?
Yeah.
I don't think the two are mutually exclusive. Obviously, I think they actually work well together. So
that cover to Famous Monsters actually reminded me of Dan Brenton. Are you guys familiar with him? Mm-hmm. He's done a bunch of stuff for Marvel, but his own book is this book, The Nocturnals.
Well, what's his name?
Dan Brenton. Yeah, let me see if I can.
Oh, I think I know him. He also did some. He did some Batman stuff as well.
Yeah, he's been in the industry for a long time. But that cover to Famous Monsters reminded me of this guy's stuff.
Yeah,
similar style.
I love Dan Brenton's stuff. I mean, it's so good.
Well, in this his style there, and the Famous Monsters style, it has that look kind of like the old Velvet paintings. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
And because blacklight posters have velvet on them too, there is like some kind of connection between all of this. That seems like because of the poster that we're doing for the collector's edition is going to have that velvet blacklight poster style, like the old blacklight posters we used to have. So, which is going to be that Hades image that's right there. But.
Maybe we should go over the editions, talking about the different.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
this is what you're talking about, right?
That's going to be
what I grabbed for.
Poster. So all the dark black is going to be that velvet fuzzy.
That's fantastic, man. All right, so yeah, the collector's edition. I mean, that's everything in a bag of chips, right? That's the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah, we threw everything we could think of that was cool with this, and that's all connected to the book as well. So with leather bound edition or faux leather bound, it's not real leather, but it's still a leather bound edition. You get the albums, the vinyl albums. Skunk, myself, and our pencilist Samir Samao we're all doing sketch cards for this.
Nice.
And then there's the Persephone coin, which is like a distressed coin, trying to look like an old, Roman or Greek,
right,
from back in the day, with Persephone's image on it. You get the blacklight poster, which is the Hades image. Those colors were done by the Unconditional Chef colorist Damir Rosic, but we're having another version that Skunk is painting that is actually going to be and then blacklight print set of various art from the book. So.
Okay, I did hear you say something about blacklight posters on Rex's stream. So, what size posters are you looking to do? I know you said you didn't want to fold them, which I appreciate.
Yeah, we don't want to fold them, and the thing is, hopefully, we get a lot of collector's editions sold. That would be great. But we're gonna have to kind of like eat some cost on shipping to not fold them, obviously.
Sure,
but. Yeah, especially with a blacklight poster, they're printed differently, and if you fold them, obviously it's like a different card stock. It rips really easily. And so I'll have to get the size correct, but it's like the old black light posters, which are, I think they're more or less standard posters. I think they're a little smaller actually, but yeah, decent sized poster. It's not going to be, and it's not going to be folded up. I can't do that. I just could not bring myself to do that.
Well, I mean, and the coating on them, even if they're not fully folded, it can crack the coating, because sometimes when printing stuff, it's not necessarily soaked into the paper itself. It's kind of on top of the paper, and if you fold it, it'll have those little creases and cracks, going across the lines.
I work in packaging. I'm a packaging designer.
Yeah,
and that's one thing is like printing over the scores or the creases.
Yep.
You're always playing with fire because it's going to ruin the ink on that fold. So they do it all the time, but you have to know that that's probably a trouble spot. So.
Yeah, you got to plan for it. And you were telling me the other day about your new gig, and that's fantastic, man.
Yeah.
Package design in college was one of my favorite classes.
Oh, nice.
Because it's a 3D puzzle. You have to figure out how to showcase the product and have cool artwork that catches the eye and brings the customer to pay attention to it. It is a cool 3D puzzle, and then you have to figure out how it's going to be laid out so that you can fold it up you can cut it out in one piece of cardboard, right? And then fold it up to it's a box. Either a tall box or a short box or a wide box or whatever. So yeah, package design it is an art form all on its own, man. So I think that's awesome.
I never thought that's what I would do for a living until now, but the thing is, I call it glorified origami because that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm taking a flat object to turn it into 3-dimensional. So.
Totally, man. Totally. Skunk, what is your favorite image that you've worked on this campaign so far? Like, is it the most, just every single one you just love, or has there been one that's like really been like, damn, I'm really proud of that one?
Difficult. I think I really liked the battle page that I did. The one that Dimi still did the pencils on. I don't know if it's on there somewhere, actually.
No, it'll be on the right-hand side for original art, but it'll also be on the GIF scroll.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
That one right there. Down here? Oh, wait, can't see my cursor. Is it this one, or is it?
No.
Scroll down. That one.
This one. Dead Don't Die.
Dead Don't Die. Got it.
Dead Don't Die. Yeah.
That is there it is right there.
Yep. Yeah, the GIF goes a little fast, but yeah, that was one of my favorites too. Yeah.
I mean,
that is a beautiful page. I love the layout too.
Absolutely. And I really look forward to doing more battle pages. This was the first grand battle that I did for the book, and I really enjoyed this.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot more to come from what I've read so far in the script.
Yeah, it's basically just battle after that page.
Yeah.
It's like non-stop battling.
Exactly.
Fuck yeah.
This is the kind of stuff I really love doing. Yeah.
You got badass battle music, so I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Bring on the battles. Like, let me see that carnage.
Comic books are fun for that very reason, and your imagination's the limit as far as where you can go. So that's kind of where we're like, take the chains off. Let's just make it as insane of a battle. It's a visual medium. Let's have fun. Let's make it insane.
Yeah,
might as well. I mean, as long as you've got an artist that's willing to commit to it, your budget is limitless. You can do anything. That's the beauty of this medium. So yeah, I'd go pedal to the metal, full fucking bore, man.
Yeah,
absolutely. Hey, what's up, Shane? Good to see you, man. Welcome. He says, I never get time to watch this stream. So howdy. This campaign looks cool, by the way. Yeah, man. Doing a Saturday stream. That way we could get Skunk Artworks to come hang out. So yeah. Trying to accommodate my my European brethren.
Thank you very much.
No, I appreciate you coming to hang out, man. It's always cool to meet new people in this scene, and to help spread the word, spread the love. and Saturdays, man. Saturdays were always a cool day when I was a kid. Get up in the morning, watch some Saturday morning cartoons, then go down to the comic shop with my dad, pick up some comics, pick up the trading cards, because we used to buy boxes of trading cards, and we'd pop the whole thing open, and we'd sit and we'd open the packs.
Open each pack. That was the best. Yeah.
He'd take half the box, I'd take the other half, and then we'd go through and see if we got the whole set. You know, and then try to find all the chase cards.
Yep.
So yeah,
you know what I found? You know what I found yesterday? Because I'm also about to move to a new home, and I'm kind of walking around in my crib, just finding stuff that I haven't seen in years.
Nice.
And what I found is something that I bought when I was like 16 or something. I got a complete set of Dick Tracy trading cards from that movie with Warren Beatty.
I remember those.
Yeah.
That was actually a really good flick.
Trading card set for some reason.
That's crazy.
I remember that. Cards used to be huge, man.
Yeah, it Alf cards, man.
Mm-hmm. Spider-Man, X-Men. Fucking
to this day,
DC
though, my
superheroes.
My favorite was the first Marvel series. Like a lot of people like Marvel Series 2 trading cards, but the first one were my favorites, and they had those like famous battles.
Yes,
and, that was the first time cards were coming out for comic book characters with like attributes.
Yeah,
and stats, and I was like, this is great. The artwork was great. Yeah.
I think Jim Lee did a bunch of those first Marvel cards too. Because I remember having the Wolverine, and I had the hologram of Wolverine.
Oh yeah.
And then I had I still do somewhere. I have the copper the Thing card. It was like a copper looking hologram, and it was just, I don't know. I realized that holograms and chromium and stuff like that, it's kind of gimmicky, but damn if it isn't cool, especially on like a little card.
Because it's cool.
Yeah.
Like if you made a whole set that was all holographic, it'd be like, but to find them, because like you were saying, you get the box, you go through each pack just to find that one holographic or, copper or whatever gimmick.
Yeah, those chase cards, man. Or like you'd get a card that was like part, card stock, and then like part of it was clear. It had like the acetate or whatever on as part of it. And yeah, they did some pretty creative stuff back then, man.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff that they don't do anymore.
Do you remember the Batman Masterpieces cards?
Yes, I still have that set.
I don't remember that one.
Look what I bought. You can buy this book, which contains giant reproductions of every single card.
Oh, wow.
That is rad.
This is. Oh, wait a second.
Go to the image. There you go.
It's like this. Like giant ass reproductions of every single trading card of that set.
That's a great idea.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found that on eBay. It was like $20 or something like that.
Oh, nice.
Rock and roll, man.
$20 well spent.
I ended up getting when I that was a set that my dad and I bought the whole box of. Ended up getting the Sky Disc card. I don't know if you guys ever saw that. It had a circular hologram of Batman shot from above, and as you turned it around, Batman would open up his cape and close that kind of thing, so you could see his face and he was looking up at you. Yeah, basically. And you could actually send that card in, and they would send you a CD-sized disc of that same hologram. Went and talked to the card shop lady, and we were going to send it in, and she's like, "Oh, well, you don't even have to do that here." And she gave us the demo disc that she had. It's got like a scuff on it, and a little like a printing defect, but it's still really fucking cool. And I still have that somewhere. One of these days, yeah, I still have the little card as well. One of these days, I'm gonna have to pull out all my cards and just do like a show where I showcase the cards, because I've still got binders, and I mean thick binders of the Spider-Man cards, the X-Men cards, the Marvel Masterpieces, the Fleer Flare. the Marvel Universe cards. I mean, just I loved that stuff, man.
Well, they were making cards of everything. Like I have Frank Frazetta cards. I have Bernie Wrightson cards. There was like series of Master of the Macabre, Bernie Wrightson. I'm like, oh, I gotta get these, So like they were making cards for everybody and everything. Jeffrey Jones,
Jeffrey Jones,
Boris, what's his wife's name?
Boris and Julie Bell. Man.
Julie Bell cards. I even have those,
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, there was a huge market for it, and unfortunately, like they kind of oversaturated the market, and the bottom just fell out of it, And about 2000,
you can't get it's still like this cool thing. I'm like, I've got cards of like Julie Bell artwork, like that's weird, right? But it's super cool, and I have like Frazetta ones, and it's like even if the market oversaturated, I kind of appreciated it because I loved them,
Yeah. Well, see, the people that actually loved them, really loved them, and the people that were just, trying to collect them because, they could flip them or they were worth money, they just kind of disappeared when the market for that wasn't there. So yeah, and see, that's why I like cards with campaigns. That's why I like, people, getting a card and flipping it over, and there's a power stat and, a little known fact about the character,
Right.
It really kind of feeds into that nostalgia. Speaking of nostalgia, Shane says, so nostalgic on the Saturday morning cartoons days well over 20 years ago. Saturdays are now make art, Warhammer games, and watching Gaelic football or rugby. Hell yeah, man.
Still sounds like a good time.
Seriously, it sounds like you've aged your Saturday up gracefully, my friend.
Yeah. Have a very similar Saturday to me, actually. But yeah, like my kids will never understand the excitement of Saturday mornings like we did.
Yeah.
They'll just never know.
I mean, it's a thing of its time period, and I mean, I've actually seen people have taken they'll set up a home server with all their media and stuff. They'll actually set up a TV station of their own, and it'll just play like an episode of certain cartoons, and then they'll just have that play so they can just flip on the TV and they can flip through channels to do cartoons or The Simpsons or their favorite TV shows as a kid. So it's not a bad idea. Get that feeling, because I mean, there's a lot of stuff that a lot of stuff I don't watch on TV anymore. It's just I don't know. I'm more apt to listen to an audiobook while I'm drawing or painting or mowing the lawn, doing the dishes, whatever, or watch a YouTube video that teaches me how to do something, or a documentary about something I didn't know about. Like, give me information, I want to learn. What's up, King League? Sexy buff dude on a throne with a spiked crown. Metal.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
That's Hades.
Hades. It's a badass image, dude. Seriously.
Oh, thank you, bro.
I love the colors too. It pops. Yeah.
Yep, that was the idea. But yeah, we also have original art for sale, and that black and white version of that image is for sale on this campaign.
Mm-hmm. Right there.
And
at $250, that's a damn steal. I'm guessing 11 by 17.
Yep, 11 by 17 on board.
Beautiful.
Traditionally done. So obviously.
And the Skunk Works original artwork here. How big are the pieces? How big are these pieces? Does it say in here? 12 by 16.5.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Oh, wow. So these are not tiny little pieces.
The size is an inch.
Oh yeah. What are they on metric? Do the conversion for us.
Yeah. Convert to the to this system that only we use.
Right. But yeah,
nobody here would be interested in the centimeter size of these images.
Yeah, maybe. But all of those skunk pages are direct pages from the book. So the Hades one is a one-off that I did. That's going to be the blacklight poster and all that. But these are straight from the book.
Beautiful work, man. Like, absolutely gorgeous. Again, I love the fact that...
When I was a kid, I would have really liked to buy a book that had interiors that are like this on every single page. I really would have liked that.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
What you would like to get. Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. Some person says this guy looks like he's on keto. Yeah. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
That's right. Well, congrats on that, man.
dude, thank you. I've been the fat kid my whole life. I was the fat comic nerd when I was in school, and I feel amazing.
You flip.
I feel like I can do fucking anything now.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
I've never been this healthy in my life, and I ain't going back. This is me forever now.
You have to have a creative outlet, and you have to have a physical outlet, and 100%. Those will keep your brain and your body doing good. So.
Yeah, absolutely, and it all works together. That's actually one of the things that Pete and I touched on as well last night. You gotta it's all about having the balance, the yin and the yang. You've got to have it all works together. And it all comes in to contribute to the whole that is you.
And then on the gutter last night on all this, he was talking about the balance, going for a jog and then having a smoke. And I'm like, yeah.
I don't know about the smoke bit, but yeah, the jog is probably a good idea.
Well, in my whole balance, whiskey and cigarettes are a part of it. But I get whiskey is definitely part of it. And I also get a lot of creative activity. So
yeah,
as long as you feel in balance, don't let anyone tell you it's wrong. If you feel good, keep going.
Yeah. Everything in moderation, as they say, right?
In moderation, yeah.
What's up, Jeremy Bird? It's good to see you, man. Thank you for coming to hang out. Jimmy says metric versus imperial. Yeah, that's right. We use metric. I mean, we use metric to talk about guns and stuff.
In theory, we're converted back. We're metric.
Are we now?
In theory, really? But no one uses it. But that said, like in theory, the whole world is metric, and yeah.
By the way, Jeremy Birds should definitely consider entering the art contest. I don't know if you know his stuff. He does these paintings that are kind of like Drew Struzan stuff. I think
love it.
Airbrush or whatever on gesso board or something, and then goes over it with color pencil.
I would love to see what Jeremy Birds would do with Kill Them Dead art. Yeah. So if you haven't, Jeremy, check out that Kill Them Dead art contest. You'd be awesome in that.
As a matter of fact, Feline dropped the link to killthemdead.com earlier in the chat.
That's where all the info is.
I appreciate
our
that.
Contest. And thank you, Feline. She's been dropping all kinds of good links. I appreciate it.
Yep. Like I said, she's my partner in crime. She's my backup. She always got my back. King Leak says, correction, Jimmy Reyes. Metric versus freedom units, and I can literally hear Leak like screaming at his computer when he types that.
Yeah, how many freedom units long is this piece of paper?
Exactly. Unhinged says, and lots of aspartame. Tame. It's no. That stuff is terrible for you.
I'm with Luke on this. I don't think artificial sweeteners are any better than
Nope.
If you need sweet stuff, have a grape or something.
Seriously, get real sugar. Don't drink the worst part is the high fructose corn syrup. That shit is evil.
Yeah, it melts your brain even. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It does indeed. What's up, old dirty fatty? Imperial sounds better, so it is better.
It does. Rebel scum.
Right?
Rebel scum.
Yep. Hint, Jeremy Burge. Nudge, nudge. Yeah. Fucking jump on it, man.
I would love to see what we
thanks.
can do with this. I love Jeremy's Instagram.
Hell yeah. I always forget that I have a damn Instagram. I keep discovering like more and more of my friends. I'm like, oh, that's right. They actually have an Instagram. I should probably follow them.
Well, the nice thing about Instagram, it really is just image heavy. So it's like if you just want to see someone's artwork, just go to their Instagram, because their Twitter can get rolled up with all kinds of like other stuff.
Yeah.
Chugging dextrose. Yeah.
Dextrose sounds pretty good.
Right? It's a sweetener made out of destro.
Destro.
Yeah. Stevia is the only one I accept. Nah. Stevia has a weird aftertaste.
The best of them all, but they all have horrible aftertaste. When I was a kid, my mom drank diet soda all the time, and it was NutraSweet back then. NutraSweet, and I was like, "This is disgusting. How do you like this?" And every artificial sweetener tastes weird to me. So
yeah, I can't drink. I mean, I don't even drink soda anymore.
I don't.
It's too sweet, and I got the Rona when it first showed up in February of 2020, right. And ever since then I can't drink Dr. Pepper. It tastes like nothing but chemicals to me. And I can't do it. And most sodas taste like that. Yeah. Every so often I'll find like a root beer that still tastes good, but yeah, for the most part, can't do it.
Yeah, I used to love Dr. Pepper, and then I took a break, and now I just can't go back. Like you said, everything's too sweet, doesn't taste right. Yeah, so, and you're better off without it, obviously. I give myself, or I give my kids, the only time they can is when we go out to eat. I go, okay, you can have a soda, you know, but even then, I'm like, give me a drink of that. I'm like, oh my gosh, how do you drink this?
This is terrible. Why do you like this? I
feel like a hummingbird or something. And he's drinking out of a feeder or something.
My heart's starting to palpitate. What the fuck is going on here?
That's the healthiest you could do. Black water. Black water's the
I mean, that's essentially what coffee is, black water. Yeah. No, and that's what I drink too. I basically that's been part of my my success with losing weight. I was down working at my condo, like cleaning it up and whatnot, and I wasn't eating anything, and I was just drinking coffee and water. Yep. And, you know, one meal a day, and just the fat melted off, you know, and I just kind of stumbled upon this whole keto thing because I was inadvertently doing
is one meal a day. I used to only do black coffee, but I do like heavy cream in it now. So,
I mean, there are worse things that you can put in your coffee.
I have to work hard on that. Yeah, but it's not sweetened. You know, it's just half and half.
Obviously, you're all much healthier than I am.
Yes.
For me,
you're a better artist.
More sugar, more fat, more alcohol, and please no sports.
Well, to be fair, if you're drinking like sodas and stuff over there, and like your sweets are a lot they're a lot better for you than the crap that we have over here.
That's typically true.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they actually use real sugar and stuff over there in treats for you guys. Okay. Because your governments actually seem to care about that type of thing. They just over here they just want to poison us. They don't give a shit if you're fat and on medication and need help and are dying.
We have to try to not get chemicals.
Yes, and they charge you through the nose for it as well.
That's true. So. But German chocolates. I used to have when I was in my last band. We had a German fan who would send us all kinds of chocolates all the time, straight from so much better.
Oh man, yeah. Okay. That's one of the things I noticed when I was over in Holland. Visiting Holland. Yeah, I'm eating Reese's Pieces right now. So good and good for you. Gives you a big penis. Mm-hmm. That might be elephantitis, so you might need to get that looked at by the doctor.
Wasn't that the commercial, like the ET commercial?
Yeah.
Remember Reese's Pieces with ET?
Ouch. Yeah. Totally. Shane says, geez, all this sounds unhealthy. Plus keto is as good as Atkins, and that diet has drawbacks. Yes, you've got to be careful about it. And drinking plenty of water helps to flush the system. And you got to balance the keto out with cruciferous vegetables. Honestly, that's one of the things that I've had to work into my diet. Just a nice big bowl of cabbage and broccoli and cauliflower and carrots.
Yeah,
and tomatoes. And
luckily, I love vegetables, so it's never been a problem. Yeah. It's like I love meat, I love vegetables, and if I kind of just stick to that, usually pretty good. So,
yeah, Reese's Pieces are an exception. It doesn't count as sugar. Oh, okay, that's good to know. Unhinged says that's why his neck grew. It was a metaphor for big penis.
I thought his finger was a metaphor, but
also yes.
Ouch.
Also yes. Man, this campaign looks fantastic, guys, and it's unique in that it's not just a book. It's not just a story. It's an album. It's a rock opera. I haven't seen anything like this in our scene yet, and as a matter of fact, I don't know if I've seen anything quite like this on crowdfunding. If I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, well, I know I haven't. So we felt pretty unique doing it. But on the same hand, we've talked about this many times. Every time I've been on your show, it's kind of been thrown around this term. It's make what you would want to get, kind of make what you would be excited to buy, and that's basically this. It's like for me, this is all the stuff I love. So I'm putting it all out there, and I'm working with a great team as well. So yeah, really excited for this. And we can use all the support we can get. I keep using the term we need support to get this behemoth off the ground. But it's going to be like nothing else out there as far as we know, and you won't be disappointed.
Many hands make light of heavy work, as they say.
That's true. That is true.
So that's why we're here getting the word out about this. I mean, you guys can see the amazing work that Skunk is doing and the awesome layouts. What is the other artist's name? Say his name again.
Samir Simão. He's on Instagram.
Samir Simão.
Samir Simão, comic artist or something like that, I believe.
Yeah, he's a Brazilian, excellent artist. He did all the pencils and inks for Magnificent Bastards.
Okay, cool.
He's extremely talented. Like, he's one of my favorites. Super cool guy. He's told us from the beginning, he's like, I don't like being on streams and stuff. So because we wanted him to, but
right.
He just bowed out. We're like, well, Skunk's going to get all the glory for all the artwork.
I mean, just as long as you know that ahead of time, you know. Yeah.
Well, he's getting paid, so he's
hey, you know. That some people just they don't do live streams, you know.
It's totally fine,
they don't
right?
Yeah. Yep. This is so cool, man. I'm wicked excited for you guys to get this off the ground, for people to get this. Standard edition, $60 that gets you the book and the 2 LPs.
Yep.
So
Plus,
when you guys go ahead.
Plus a digital copy of the soundtrack.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yes.
Everybody's getting a digital download. So
yeah.
Because even if you have a record player, sometimes, you know, it's kind of a collector's thing. Maybe you don't want to actually play the records.
I've heard that it can scratch the image on it. So you know,
probably.
Because the picture discs are like a huge a huge thing in the metal scene.
Right.
You know, like Deeds of Flesh, I know, have done like a picture disc for almost like every album they put out, you know, and they look fucking badass too, you know.
But then you don't want to play them, you know.
And especially if it's going to scratch the image, you know.
Yeah.
So I appreciate. I mean, as speaking as somebody that listens to music on their phone all the time, like I put a God, what did I think I got like a 120 gig card in my car and my phone, just so I can have like most of my music or a large chunk of my music.
Right.
So I appreciate that fact that there's going to be a digital download, you know, so I can actually have that on the phone and listen to, because I want to jam out to this shit in my car, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I think that's appropriate. It's like, it's too bad we don't have record players in our cars that they'd scratch all the time.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the one track that we played at the beginning of the show, and we're going to, you said might play a little later, is also on Spotify right now. It's also on iTunes. You could purchase it on iTunes. It's the one track that we kind of like threw out there and go, hey, you know, let you know the music's legit. You know, because sometimes somebody's like, yeah, we're comic book people and we're going to throw some music on it. You know, maybe a little bit skeptical, but it's like, I have a background in this. I've been doing it a long time. It's I stand by the music. It's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is.
Seriously, you fucking crushed it on that song, man.
Oh, thanks,
like
man.
It's fucking wicked cool, you know. And again, you picked a damn good person to do the compositions for.
Super talented.
Jacob is phenomenal, man. Yeah. I was going through looking for somebody to get some music from, you know, because you're always looking for it. And being somebody that loves like metal and, you know, death metal, heavy metal, hard rock, it is hard to find good copyright free music that you can play without, you know, and I found this dude and I'm like, holy shit. And he sells his tracks. I can actually buy the music and use it without having to worry. This is perfect.
And he's very reasonable as well, because we knew we needed that for how big this album was going to be. So we had an original meeting with him and we just went like, here's our idea. Are you in? And he's like, oh, I'm in, you know. So he was super excited.
Right on.
The concept. Every time we get a new track from him, it just blows my mind. He's extremely talented. Phenomenal guitar player, but he does all the instrumentation. It's just amazing. And it makes my job easier putting vocals, you know, because it's like, oh yeah, I can leave space because the music's so good. You know, it's just he's been great.
You can let the music shine through. You don't have to pick up the slack, as it were.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Just call him gay and bully him into joining streams like good friends do. I don't know if that'll work, man. But advice from Jimmy. You might give it a shot and see if it works.
It's not going to steer you.
Hey, what's up, Hen? Good to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out.
Always good to see you.
Yeah. So when are you guys thinking you would get a chance to fulfill this? Like when are you wanting to fulfill it?
It's gonna take a little bit of time because it's it's pretty ambitious and everything is expensive as far as the print. And so we're also going to do a little more campaigning even after the 30 on Indiegogo. So we're hoping, all things being perfect, about a year, but it might drag on a little longer than that.
Yeah.
That said, nobody wants to drag their feet with this. We want this to be in people's hands. So, but there's a lot of cost. I know I talked about Jacob being reasonable priced, but there's a lot of tracks he's putting on, and then my time at the studio that I have to pay for. And the first stuff was recorded in Colorado, or not in Colorado, in Washington State, where I just moved from. And to keep a cohesive sound, I'm going to go to the same studio, but I have to work and fly out there to, do some vocals. So there's just a lot that goes into it. And that's not even touching on the artwork. Samir and Skunk are working very hard on as well. So, but it's a big book, 80 pages.
This is like a real crowdfunding project.
Yeah.
We actually need money to make this happen. This is not just, to enrich ourselves or whatever,
Yeah. And you guys are actually asking for the amount that you actually need,
Right.
Instead of oftentimes, like, some of these campaigns will go up and it's just $500, and that's great if you already have the project all done and it's ready to go, and all you need to do is just get it out there and like kick the ball rolling.
Right.
But this, you actually need people to pick this up so that you can get to the goal to actually produce this.
And to be honest, we've talked about this as a team. We're putting it out regardless. The faster we get to that threshold, the faster this can come out, obviously. But it's coming out regardless. So that's why we put it as flexible goal. We will make this happen. I've already invested too much to not make it happen. So it's like we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
But the faster we get to that threshold, the easier it is, because funds make things move a lot faster. So
yeah, I do. It greases the gears of the machine.
It does.
It helps things move forward.
As
you guys can see, this book just looks fucking phenomenal, and I can't wait to see the story that you guys have put together. The pages and the artwork and listening to the whole thing. It's going to be an entire experience altogether. And I think that's something unique in this scene, man. Like I said, I haven't seen this before, and you might start a trend.
Yeah, it might start happening now, but
right.
But yeah, we were here first.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, man, somebody's got to start it. It's got to kick off somehow. Might as well be with some badass metal.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So we've been going for about an hour and a half here, and I could keep talking to you guys all day, but I'm sure Skunk probably wants to, unwind and get some rest. And I appreciate you guys coming to hang out. Is there anything else you want to say to the audience about Kill Them Dead before we wrap up?
Let's see. Well, I'll let Skunk go first because I got to think. He probably has something.
I'm a foreigner. You're the more eloquent dude here.
You've done just fine, man. You've done just fine.
As a man from Germany, you sound more eloquent.
I would say that Kill Them Dead is a very unique project. It is absolutely unlike anything you have backed so far. I can guarantee that. It's very special, and it's a very unique thing that you will regret not having backed in a year or whatever when it comes out.
Yes.
So I can only recommend to back this book, and you will get great art and a great soundtrack and a great story by two phenomenal writers. So please back the book.
Absolutely.
So I thought of something that was very eloquent, by the way. Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, seriously, that was well put, sir. That was well put.
And the accent makes everything sound better. That's why they do that in movies all the time. That nobody talks with an American accent in when they're supposed to sound regal.
Yeah, the whole world really loves German accents, right?
Yes, right. Well, I remember one silver-tongued devil got the entire nation up in uproar. We won't talk about that.
Yeah.
So,
hell.
I will say this, anybody out there is kind of an old school metal fan or something, and before the day of internet and so much entertainment, we would just buy an album. I would come home, get stoned, put on that album, look at the album artwork, because metal always has the best album artwork, of course.
Yeah, I do.
Look at that album artwork, follow along with the lyrics, and just immerse myself in the story of what they were trying to sell and what they were trying to tell. And this is very similar, except for that we have the actual full story going with it, and then all the lyricism, all the music hits on the same notes to take you on that journey. So if you were like me and you would get home with a new album and just do whatever you had to do to get in the right space, psychotropic wise.
Yeah.
And then just immerse yourself in an experience. I miss those days, and that's what we were thinking with this project, was wanted to recreate that experience in an even deeper level. So
hell yeah, man. That's awesome. I fucking love that. And Jimmy says, yeah, you can send them to Odin.
No.
You can
Send them to Germany. The shipping's a little more, but he'll appreciate
it. It'll be worth it. I'm sure the customs officers will absolutely love opening those.
They call them Lederhosen.
Yeah, exactly. Hen says German and British accents are used for villains all the time, and it suits a metal album. Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Guy was a snappy dresser too. Oh hell. Built some good roads. He got that right, I suppose. But I want to thank the chat for being here. Odin, Skunk, I appreciate you guys coming to hang out, and we are actually going to go out listening to some more of this badass track that we started out with. Let me go ahead and bring this up.
Well, and thank you, Luke. It's always a pleasure. Always a blast hanging out with you, man.
Oh yeah, dude, you are always welcome.
And thanks
to come
for always
out.
sharing our stuff on Twitter, and
yeah,
you're just such a supportive guy. This is absolutely incredible, man. Thank you,
man. I love, like I told you in the DM, man. I love comics. I love artwork. I love talking to creative people. I get such a buzz talking to creative people that I want to help. A rising tide lifts all boats, and I fully believe that. The more that we can get this stuff out there, the more that we can get people stoked about this kind of thing, the better it is for everybody. Absolutely. So you're more than welcome, man. I'm happy to help, and I've got great people around me. I've got Feline, I've got my buddy Jason, and I got Jimmy. I got great people supporting me. So I want to give that back. I want to put that support back out there. And I would rather create a positive feedback loop than a negative feedback loop. So that's what I'm trying to do.
You definitely
do. Trying to do. Thanks, man. All right. So I swear I can operate StreamYards, maybe, kind of, sort of. All right. Thank you all so much for being here. Enjoy this absolute badass music, and we will see you next time on New Book. Who dis?
Bodies fall into the sea. Through the